Why did we just assume Jesus' gender? Is that funny when we do that? Well, who decided that he was a man? Yeah. For all we know, I think Jesus was trans or queer.
There's no way to know.
Right. Whatsoever.
I can see that.
Make the story more interesting.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, I am a Sassyopathic, and I am a drag artist born and raised here in Nashville.
I'm Rian Archer, your host. This is Everything Nice. Nice.
Right.
So it's Easter Sunday.
Praise God.
Love it. I went thrifting to celebrate earlier.
Nice.
You got up at 1.
I did.
Yeah.
I was delightfully rested, I think. Yeah. It was cool. We had a lot of fun. We played darts
cute.
last night at we'll leave the location undisclosed. I was like, I'm a very private person. I don't want people knowing where I am, so we're just gonna keep it low key.
Edit that out. We really can edit anything out. Self-censorship is always an option. But some people do live podcasts, which is kind of wild. But I guess then that's almost just like a radio show. It's
True.
just not on the radio.
What is radio anymore?
Well, we have some cool stations. WXNA. Like, Charles was supposed to be on doing an interview, but the guy got the date wrong, apparently, and didn't realize it till day of.
Of course.
But
as it happens.
They
What
have cool
is
stuff.
WXNA exactly?
It's a volunteer-run radio station. It's on the channel, the wavelength 101.5. Yeah, and it's like different radio shows every hour or every couple hours.
That's cool.
It's a DJ spinning what they want to, so it's actually like underground music.
Oh, that's lit.
And like old musics.
Yeah, so you're not just listening to like the same,
Top 40.
like top 40, 80s rock,
Yeah, no,
90s
it's a
Celine
very
Dion.
It's a very cool station. There'll be like a doo-wop show on Saturday morning when I'm like late to work, driving. And then late at night, it's like midnight, you're getting off of work from somewhere, and it's some like deep, spooky techno or something goth or dark wave. It's cool. I'm surprised that as a Nashville native, you haven't heard of WXNA, but also like who listens to the radio anymore? You should listen to WXNA.
I will, 101.5. All right, we're going to get with it. It's not that I don't listen to that. I just don't listen to the radio.
Yeah,
I don't remember the last time I listened to a radio show or like a station.
And do you drive?
No.
Well, there you go.
I don't drive. I get driven. I get driven. Yeah, I don't trust myself. I don't trust other people either. I'm going to take my sunnies off.
Yeah. The light is good. It's like a gorgeous day outside.
Just to let the listeners know, it is so beautiful. What do you think it is outside? Like high 70s?
I think it's gotta be up to like the 80s. I mean, we've got the devices that will let us know immediately.
Some things you need to know about me. I don't watch the news. I don't check the weather. I am so like detached that I'm like, I don't know what's happening unless it's like right in my face and like Notre Dame is fucking falling apart. It's burned up and I'm like,
I was like, oh. I get my news through memes.
Yeah.
100%. I don't get on Facebook and I don't have a TV. So I have no idea. It's embarrassing, but that was good. Could you tell me about just like doing drag and what you do overall? Like, obviously, we know what drag is. If you don't,
right,
where have you been?
Literally, where have you been?
But like, just like the way that you participate in it. How often do you perform?
Twice a month, I perform at Play. And they have an open stage night. It is no longer called Amateur Night because we fixed that pretty quickly.
It was called...
Well, they would introduce us as like, this is the Amateur Night where anybody can be a drag queen. I'm like, some of us girls have like worked for 10 years.
Yeah.
Some have like, tonight is their first time. And like me, I've been doing drag for 3 years now. So like, don't call me a fucking amateur. Like, you don't know what I'm doing outside of this place. Don't do me. So we fixed that. But again, being a drag queen at Play is cool because there's a backstage area, there's a stage, there's lights, there's an audience, which means you're going to make money because there have been many a times where I'm just like performing for one person or getting ready in a broom closet, you know, and nobody wants to do that. Like it takes away from the experience of like, oh, this is super glam. I fell into drag, like literally got like a $20 Party City wig and black lipstick and would just go out to all the shows in Nashville, which was cool because I was like the only person of my caliber there.
Like the DIY music shows? Oh, I've definitely remembered like being at a show and being like, who's that? Like,
who's that pulling a look?
Somebody's
trying to queer up the place.
Outfit?
Right?
They're not just dressed in clothes?
I was definitely a show stealer. But it was like beautiful because that's where I learned who I could be. I think through that and like watching other people and my friends perform. And I think it was when I saw Alaska Thunderfuck 5000 when I used to wear too much banana powder because I didn't know any better. That's a nightmare. And then the princess came up to me. It was like my first time that I actually went to Play in full drag and was like okay with it and not just at shows. She just like came up to me and was like, who are you? I was like, Sassyopathic. And she's like, who? And I'm like, Sassyopathic. Like, why don't you perform here? And I was like, good question. She's like, we do open stage nights. Every second and fourth Sundays come out. And I started doing that consistently. You know, getting booked around town sometimes on bills with other people. I think it's cool when I get booked to like perform with actual bands and like it's diverse.
Yeah.
And it's not just like, oh, we threw in a drag queen. It all kind of works. Like, I love that.
Definitely has to be curated or just like you want, it's intentional. It's like, I think that if people just like think it's novelty, then that's lame. But if you're like, this is an equivalent performance to whatever these fuckers with some guitars are doing.
Exactly.
Like, it has to be that way or else it wouldn't feel weird.
Yeah, a little invalidated. And that, and that's why it felt so cool. Because I was like, there and I'm like, oh, you get it. Like, hallelujah. Yes. That's all an artist wants. Like, hey, we see you and you're doing this and we respect it.
So were you making any of your own music at all?
Yeah.
Okay, I thought so.
So I'm terrible and I'm such a procrastinator. So I was supposed to have a single called Reputation come out, but I'm just not happy with it.
Yeah.
Like, I can play a little bit for you. In a second, but I'll just take you through the journey. So I produce most of my own beats and instrumentals.
Okay. What do you use?
Logic.
Oh, cool.
Because it is what? Intuitive. Yes. I like everybody, I started with FL Studio. And that just like wasn't it. And I cannot grasp the concept of Ableton whatsoever. That's how you made CBD, right?
Yeah, that's how I made that. I just took an Ableton class and I had 8 weeks of Pro Tools class like 2 years before that, but my teacher was great and I was like, this is awesome. This
that's
is amazing.
cool that you had like somebody there guiding you.
I just fell right into it. I was like, this is really easy to use. I don't know why anyone else is confused.
Well, lucky you.
I know.
Good for you.
Yeah, that's how I felt. But just very useful shit, like that made me feel like a wizard. It was really cool. But
and you paid attention. That's a lot of it.
AC uses Logic. I want to learn Logic. It looks good. I really like the way Ableton looks, though. Everything is super flat looking.
Yeah.
It's just nice.
What is like the workflow like? I don't even like.
Yeah, I like the workflow, but I also don't have a lot to compare it to. I think it's super like the way that you click and move through things is really intuitive. Like you can double click on like everything and it'll zero out, which Pro Tools doesn't do, which is really frustrating. Because I'm in a MIDI class and we're doing MIDI stuff in Pro Tools, and after using Ableton, you're like, this sucks.
I just like stole a version of Logic from the Pirate Bay.
Good.
Oops, right? Like give it to the people. And I just like started fucking around and I was like, oh shit, like this is fun. Also, this is really cute. And like I started getting more and more, like, because I've always been musically inclined. You know, played piano most of my life, drums, could never really get guitar. I wish I did. And then slowly but surely, I started crafting these ideas. So right now, it could be an album, but I'm going to release them as 2 different EPs.
Yeah.
So the first one is called SassPunk, because everyone has always asked, like, what kind of music are you going to make? Like, what genre is it? And I'm like, I don't know. It's going to be music that I'm singing and I made. And I was like, okay, like, some of my early stuff was heavy, a little heavier. And I was like, oh, yeah. SoundCloud was like, what's the genre? And I just put #SassPunk.
Yay.
So that's that one. That's like the rap song, another rap song, like the high energy kind of like in your face, sassy brand like attitude. And it's cute. That's coming together.
Yes.
And then the second part is the darker stuff. It's like
Okay.
the more vibey, moody things that I make, like tackling like actual issues like addiction and codependency and like, you know, the human experience overall. And that might be called Go Down. It's really cool. Usually
that's
I'll
good.
like before I put all of the like finished tracks out, I'm gonna probably upload all of the instrumentals because I love that. Like I love my instrumentals.
Cool.
They're so vibey and moody. So I'm going to put them on my SoundCloud if people want to listen, which it's just like search Sassyopathic on SoundCloud. But once these singles come out, it's going to be on everything. Tidal,
Yes.
Spotify, Apple Music, iTunes. If you want to buy it, you can.
How are
Please.
you distributing?
I use DistroKid.
See, I'm trying to hop on that. We had to
Yeah.
use CD Baby for this DIY distribution class I was in.
Oh, that's cool.
And it was cool, but
There's so many different ones, and it's really like you just have to figure out which one works best for you or is like suitable for you.
I've heard DistroKid from most of my friends.
Like, it's like cheap.
Yeah.
It does everything you need it to do. There's like different tiers. So if you have like multiple albums and multiple singles out, like there's a tier that's perfect for that, and you can like you know customize your release dates. Like you can have people pre-save it and shit. We're just not there yet.
Nice.
I always jump the gun. I'm like, oh, I need this, but bitch, the song isn't even out. So
Yeah.
you know, that's something I struggle with, is just like getting it out. It can be finished, and then I'm like, no, just kidding.
There's a lot of work to put into releasing something. Like, I'm supposed to have been doing a lot of promo for this track, but I'm procrastinating, as I love to do. And, like, you gotta take photos, you gotta post about it, you gotta make it interesting
God.
and, like, uniform
Yeah.
with, like, the album or EP artwork. And that's fun, but it is, like, a
But
lot
you're
of
so
work.
like, you're always so aesthetically pleasing though. Like,
Oh,
I
thank
think
you.
you've got it.
Well, it sounds like you have a lot under your belt, like, ready to come out.
Do you like drag?
I do. I'm like very new to the culture, but every drag show I've seen, I've felt very happy. Like just elated. Like while I'm there, I'm like, this is so awesome. Like every time.
It is an exciting thing, and it should
So
be
fun.
exciting. It's just, I could get really philosophical. I feel like drag queens are like shamans, kind of, and we're like very close to God, and that's why we can teeter on that larger than life space and like channel that energy. You know what I mean? I think with like any performer, it's just like to get to that level
Yeah.
of awareness of who you are and what you could bring. I love it. See, I'm very like punk, but in the sense that I just got like a bitchy attitude. Like that's my character, Sassy. She's not just like completely crazy. She's gonna stand up for
Yeah.
people that can't speak up, and I'll be their voice. But also, like, I'm gonna point out when some stuff is on some bullshit.
Yeah.
You know. But also,
Okay, I love that.
Very rude gal.
She's
Very
a
rude gal.
But she's
Yeah.
like a real head. She keeps it real. Okay, cool. How have you been sassy the whole 3 years that you've been doing drag, or have you evolved?
I think all 3 years, yeah, I've been consistently Sassyopathic. I did start off as like, my pseudonym, I guess, was Devon Hilton, because I was just like, that faggot. Keep that in there. I like the word faggot. I started as Devon Hilton, and that is when I was like doing the mustache still, and just like my face was like so botched, and I didn't come into the drag scene as a drag queen. If that makes sense, because again, like I was just going to like the other basement and like the exit in the end, and like losing 10 nails in the mosh pit, you know. So I was kind of like that messy queen.
Yeah.
And then, woo! If you ever want to get read to fucking filth, look a mess. Like they were not into it at all. And then like slowly, I started.
Who wasn't into it?
The girls,
the
queens.
Yeah.
They were just like, "What are you doing?" Because it was a shock that I wasn't doing, like, top 40.
Yeah.
Or, you know, like, super big hair, super sparkly. You know, it was different than what they were doing at the time. So, of course, they would know. Like, I didn't do splits or, like, flips or anything. I wasn't really a panderer. I was just like, this is what I'm giving you. You're going to take it. Like, I'm not giving you what you want. I'm giving you what I want to give you. Take it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
This is my art, and this is how I do it. Y'all can do your thing, which I'm not dissing them. Like, every drag queen that I've met has their own thing, and they're all, like, really beautiful individuals, but it's just, like, we're all just a little different, you know, in style and stuff. Then I slowly got more polished. Like, we just got the image correct. Like, everything started to fall in place. Like, my face structure I started to know. My eye I started to know. Like, being comfortable on stage, like doing this act is a hard thing. It's like, you know.
I can imagine, because like I love to sing along to a song, or like love doing makeup. Like I'm a makeup artist. And, like I want to do drag, but I would never have the courage. Like, especially after watching one of the drag performances at Adverse Fest, where they were like wearing. I mean, drag queens are always wearing crazy, huge shoes, but on this, like, weird, jagged, like, cement floor. And I was amazed at the way that all of those people were moving in those shoes on that floor.
Yeah.
I was, like, kind of scared. But, yeah, no, I think it takes a lot. But do you think that like, being more top 40 and pandering, is that, like, a specific part of, like, Nashville's drag queen or drag scene, I mean, or like the kind of like mainstream music, the thing you were talking about earlier, how you were like a little bit like too alternative previously. Do you think that's just like this specific scene, or is there more space for like the kind of alternative drag, or how does that fall in line?
So there's four drag shows in Nashville. That's Play's drag show. That's Tribe's drag show. That's Susie Wong's drag brunch and dinner. All right next to each other, all owned by the same people.
Really?
Yeah, isn't that weird?
Yeah.
Like, again, no dissing. And then there's this other bar called Peckers, who some really good girls work at, but that's not the crowd I like. But they are doing really amazing work. Like Veronica Electronica, I think, hosts it over there. I don't know. It's like Play is where you want to perform. That is a drag scene. You want to make money. You want to get seen. But if you're booking like the same 5 people that are your friends, you're not showing Nashville what Nashville drag has to offer. You're not offering an incentive to people who continually support your business. You know, and that's my issue. It's beyond me. Like, I'm not complaining for me. It's just like us overall. Like, I work with beautiful queens all the time. Not all of them are like gonna give you that Play showgirl, like, you know, thing that they do. Like, if you're doing a split and a cartwheel, and the next girl does a split and a cartwheel, and then the girl after that does one too, is this the fucking cartwheel show?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, people will... Damn. Here we go. Okay, 30 seconds into your number, you haven't even hit the chorus and you fucking split? For what? For what? Just imagine this conversation, us, and like all of a sudden I just do a fucking split or a cartwheel.
Oh, man.
That's how it feels to me. And I'm just like... So there is kind of a formula to it that... The girls I like to be booked with don't follow that formula, and that's why we're a thing. Like Chanel and Amanda, who are like probably my very close drag sisters. They're cute. They're really good. They work really hard, and we have like so many ideas, and it's just like we need somewhere to host it. And so we just did a show at Fat Bites that was so cute. Like every girl made money.
Good.
We had some AFAB queens, which I love.
Love that.
Love. Like they have their own night at Play too, and like I think it's a challenge for them because they are assigned female at birth. That like it doesn't get recognized as drag, but they work, if not like harder because of that to you know, make it known that what they're doing is still drag.
Yeah.
So
Definitely.
I was like, come out here because y'all are cute as fuck, and like y'all are killing it. Everybody made money again. We raised money for Pine Ridge. I wasn't my part. I don't know anything about charity, so I don't know what happened.
Okay.
But we raised some money for it.
That's great,
And like
though.
the bartenders made money, and everyone loved it. It was such a cute crowd. We were not expecting that at all because it was the
really
first time
wanted
we
to come.
got together and do it.
Yeah. Keep doing it.
Yeah, I really want to. And speaking of adverse,
Yes.
I want to bring Miss He and Videotronic. I am in love. Like
They were so great.
obsessed.
Yeah. Shout out to Athens' little drag scene.
Yeah, I want to go back.
That was really cute. I want to go back too. I love just vicariously living through AC and a couple other people's Instagrams who live in Athens and all the cute shit that they're doing all the time. It's great. But yeah, so you're putting on your own drag show. I think that's what needs to happen if the majority of the drag shows are kind of specifically at these venues and all under the same thumb, then it just needs to be more DIY, I guess.
Here's some light tea. Exactly. Before I spill the tea, that's always been the goal. Always. And now I think we're at a good point in Nashville where people will come out, well, people want to see something different and aren't afraid to like go to the fringe or the corner, you know what I mean? Like they want to go see it because that's where it's at. So we're definitely planning to make that a monthly thing and have more girls, not just from Nashville, but from other places too.
Yes.
Yeah, bring them through because I just love drag queens and I love meeting queens too. So it's fun. But here's some tea. You can end this out if you want to. Apparently there have been several bars that want to come into Nashville that are gay bars and drag bars that have been blocked through whatever influence
Blocked?
that conglomerate
Like
of
franchising
three,
or just like a new business?
like franchising. Like several different franchises have tried to come in, but like Play just has like this weird monopoly on that street. It's fucking crazy.
Oh,
But
wow.
one might have slipped through. That's what the rumors are.
Oh,
So we'll see. That'll be
Okay.
fucking cute.
new drag show.
Right.
I'm most excited for yours. What was the show called? Did it have a name?
I don't think so. It was so Amanda she hosts an Instagram drag race. So it was like the Amanda's Drag Race International Drag Show because we had someone from Scotland and someone from
cool.
Chicago, which is lit as fuck.
That's a cute name for the event. For the regular night, do you think it'll have a name or just...
That's what we're like back and forth on it because we could always do like a monthly theme.
Yeah, exactly.
We call ourselves the Dream Ghouls.
Okay.
So it could just be like the Dream Ghouls presents like
Dream Ghouls, like...
Dream
okay.
Ghouls.
That's
Because like
really cute.
we're not cute enough or polished enough to be Dream Girls yet. So we're Dream Ghouls. We're still a little spooky.
love
Rough
that.
around the edges, but hello.
That name, there has to be a really good Halloween show.
Oh my God.
I'm demanding it.
We were planning it and something fell through, but fuck, we did this photo shoot and video shoot in a cemetery that was so funny. I don't know where it is now, of course, because things like that happen when you're an artist and you're dealing with other people
Yeah.
and their schedules.
Yeah.
But yeah, this was a good sign that it landed. But Halloween 2019.
Where am I?
Yeah. What year is this? Hello. I know someone who can tongue pop the whole alphabet,
How
like
does that
up and
even-
down. Like that's a tongue pop.
Yeah.
Can you do it?
My mouth's kind of dry right now, honestly. But
Sip some tea.
I can make the noise, but not that loud or clear. I've been practicing, though. On my own time.
Same. Just all day in the bathroom, like, no. Do you want to make it to nationals? Because if you do, you need to work harder, be stronger.
Oh, that was...
God bless America.
That was a winning tongue pop.
I'm going to the Olympics. Can I show you this picture really quickly?
Show me a small animal.
You're going to die. It's the Geico gecko with the Infinity Gauntlet. It's from the Avengers.
Oh, I don't know anything about that.
I'm so excited to see the last movie.
Are you a... Wait, is that Marvel? What is that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so are you a Marvel fan?
Big Marvel fan. The movies are so good.
I've seen a couple of them. I have 3 siblings, like grew up with 3 brothers. So.
Yeah, I have an older sister. We're really close. She's like actually badass as fuck.
Yeah, what does she do?
She works at TSU doing something.
Oh, that sounds cool.
I don't know all the details. I'm just like, work, girl, go get it. But she went to this like historically black college and was like on so many like different activities and boards and was like really active. And she's just like blossomed into this like super badass, like into her own chick, which is cool.
That's
Love
cute.
her. And then I did have a brother, but he passed away when I was like 18 or 19. That was probably the first like super close loss that I ever experienced, and that kind of like set me back.
Yeah.
It was rough. It's rough. I'm like, fuck. We grew up together, and now you're not here.
Yeah, I can't imagine.
Yeah.
I just can't imagine.
It hit me like maybe a year later when I wasn't like fucking around and doing that whole grieving process. Like, nobody teaches you how to grieve, so you're just like, but it's the memories that keep it alive. Like, it's gonna sound like crazy, but I remember we're kid siblings. We always fought, but like it was never anything serious. The craziest thing that happened is like my brother pushed my sister, and I was right behind them. Her 2 front teeth went straight through my forehead. I'm like, it wasn't even that hard, like remembering it, but I was just like, what the fuck? And I had to go to my uncle's wedding with like a hole in the middle of my forehead. It was so gross. What were we fighting over? Like probably to pee. Because there was one bathroom.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, it's so funny. My brothers, there's all these different stories of like somebody getting a head wound, like falling off of standing on the couch with sunglasses on, head wound.
Right.
Being at the pool and just face first into some cement stairs, head wound. I slammed my door on my brother's head. Not like his head in the doorway.
Ladies and gentlemen, she's a killer.
Not his head in the doorway, but like slammed the door and he ran into the door and hit his head on the doorknob. Had an egg.
Oh, God bless. God bless.
It was crazy.
Oh, I don't know if you know this, but my family is from Guyana.
Oh, I didn't.
In South America.
Maybe I've heard a whisper of that, but I don't think we've talked about it.
Yeah. So I definitely grew up a little bit different than everyone else I knew. Like, our family was super close. I can't remember if, like, some of our, like, cultures clash just being here. But I was definitely raised differently. Like, we didn't really want anything because, like, if you know what I mean, like we had it, but it was like we were very close, and like just the strength of family was super important to us. That's like the guiding light in our life. I've been there several times. It's so beautiful. It's cool. It's just like tropical and fun. I haven't been as an adult yet. That really like resonates within me is like my Caribbean background. As little as it is, like, really made an impact on me. It taught me a lot about, like, honestly, just, like, surviving and thriving. Because, like, if my ancestors could do it and, like, they all came over here and made a life for themselves, it's cool.
Yeah.
Lots of sugarcane.
Yeah.
Lots of sugarcane, like, good food, fresh. Like, we would buy, like, animals, you know, to cook that day. So it's like, oh, we got a goat. Let's fucking make some goat.
Is that when you were visiting, or did you live there ever?
I was visiting. For probably, like, I think it was like a month.
Okay, that's awesome.
Yeah. Made some really cool friends, like, learned the culture, and saw it boom. Like, when I was, like, maybe 10 or 11, I was like, okay, I could see where this is, like, going. And I went my first time. Yeah, it's cute. And you know what's so cool? Fecal Matter. The dude from Fecal Matter is from Guyana. The duo on Instagram, they make, like, they're, like, the Provoke Society thing. Yeah.
Okay, they're kind of fashion visual artists on Instagram. I've definitely seen their stuff. It's crazy.
So cool. And like Richie Shazam in New York City. Like these are all just like people I know from the internet, but they're so cool. And I'm like found a Guyanese fashion designer that lives in New York too. So cool. I love my country. It's so cool.
I love that. It sounds beautiful. So were your parents like immigrants here, or was it a couple generations back that they moved to the States?
That's a good question. So I think my aunt came here first for whatever reason. Like, I don't know why Nashville. Like, wish I knew.
But it's like been Nashville since they got here. Wow.
Yeah.
Random.
So, yeah, I know.
Glad
Hello.
you're here.
So multi-generationalist. Yes.
Yes, okay, cool.
Seeds are all over the place. Yeah, I think that happened, and then my mom had my brother there and then moved over here like sometime in the 80s. So since then, I think everyone literally made the move like right in the middle of the 80s here.
Okay.
And some of them are all over the place, which Nashville, Atlanta, New York, Florida, yeah, those like have really, really big pockets of, Caribbean people and everyone. So it's super cool that Nashville became that place too. And I could, growing up, it was just the people we knew that were from there. And then like slowly it got more diverse. And you're like, holy shit, like you're from Trinidad, you're from like Bangladesh or whatever, like all the West Indies, like here, like Nashville really boomed with that.
I love that.
Yeah.
That's so nice.
It's cool. I love it.
But how is growing up in Nashville? Were you like very inner city inside Nashville itself, or like in any of the suburbs?
Good question. Like we lived kind of outside like the heart of Nashville. We're still in Nashville. Like I live off of Dickerson Road, and it's kind of like it is like northeast Nashville.
That sounds like Nashville.
Yeah. But like back in the day, like there wasn't really anything to do in the neighborhood. Like it was just like there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There wasn't like a lot of business per se besides like food. Where I grew up down the street from Princess Hot Chicken.
Yes.
God bless. And there weren't as many small businesses as there are now. And luckily enough, they have not touched our neighborhood.
Yeah.
And I don't think it might take them like 10 more years to get there because they're still doing the River North expansion thing, and like that'll take a while. But I saw a couple of white people in my neighborhood and I was like, fuck, it's happening. They are jogging. They think it's safe. No. No. Oh, it's loud, but that's how I feel.
Oh my god. Yeah, I'm always surprised like looking outside, and it's like even the neighborhood that I live in here where we're recording, Westwood, Houston, I think like it's changed in the year and a half that I've been here. Obviously, like we live across the street diagonally and directly across from two different construction sites of monstrous weird condos.
Tall skinny, ladies and gentlemen,
blocky,
please welcome to the stage, Tall Skinny. Yes.
Somebody should honestly.
She's tall and skinny. Yes, that's weird too, because like that neighborhood is just like cute as it is, and then they're fucking all this shit up. Again, I'm fortunate enough to have not felt it. Yeah, in my neighborhood, like people coming in and buying up the property, tearing shit down, which is cool. Like it's a cute, quiet little neighborhood, very safe. I went to school like in Madison. I went to Nashville School of the Arts, so I think that's when I like got the inner city experience and like all the personalities that created like this community. But growing up, I went to church and we went to eat and we went to like our family's house. So we didn't really do anything.
Very family oriented.
Yeah, like go to the park. We'd go to like Atlanta every year, like New York and stuff.
Cool.
Yeah, fortunately, again, haven't been really hit by it, but I see what it's doing and what it's causing in other communities, and it fucking sucks. Like, you can't come in and say that, oh, you live here, well, you no longer can afford to live here, and you have no say.
Yeah.
Because we want to bring other people in. It sucks.
Yeah.
You know, but that's life. Sad to say that.
Yeah.
But I like the way Nashville is changing.
It's just it's a machine, like it's a system that's currently in place, and it's very difficult to stop it unless someone in legislation is able to like have a plan for affordable housing. But yeah, it's definitely a problem.
Yeah, raise the minimum fucking wage. Can we get a livable like wage?
Yeah.
That too. I work so hard. Everyone works so hard. And okay. Trump is like, unemployment is down. Yes, because people need 3 jobs to live. You know?
Yeah.
People need 3 jobs to live. So yes, of course, the unemployment rate is down.
Where do you work at? Like a restaurant?
I work at a steakhouse in Midtown.
A server?
I'm a server assistant.
Server assistant?
Yeah.
You have servers have assistants at your...
Yeah, we basically do everything except make tips that are cool.
No?
Yeah, we get a percentage.
Oh, man.
We can't keep any chef. Like, people quit all the time. Like, we're always out of something. Like, it's so stupid.
Sounds
It's so stupid, but I love all of my coworkers.
That's good. That's what's important. That's so important.
Yeah.
I love all of my coworkers at my job, too. It's a beautiful, wonderful restaurant. Shout out to Wild Cow. Shout out the owners. They're amazing. Melanie and John. It's like definitely like a work family.
Yeah,
It's
like that kind of vibe.
More, if not half, like more than that are people who are involved in music or make music, including the owners. Like, it's very cute. They give teacher discounts. They give touring artist discounts.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, go in there next time you're on tour.
Yes, which, oh God, I want to go on tour.
Oh my gosh, you should go on tour.
That'd be cool.
Do you know any other drag queens that have gone on a tour? I feel like I've seen a couple flyers.
People tour all the time. It's just like, if you don't have a name or the traction.
Yeah.
It's like, you know how bands can just like pop into a city and there is a venue for it? It's not that way for drag.
Yeah.
It's like, you have to be sought out.
Yeah.
Really. Which is interesting.
Yeah.
We should probably change that.
Yeah.
We should probably change that.
I think there needs to be more. I mean, I guess I'm an outsider to the culture. I don't participate that much, but I want to. And I think there needs to be more DIY space, you know, physically and like metaphorically allocated to drag.
Like, I remember when I first started going to shows, the problem was they're all white guys. And it's like the same white guys in different variations playing different instruments, but still the same white guys. And that's what it started like. And it was weird.
Yeah.
It was very weird to see that. Like,
For like music shows.
yeah, for music. Yeah.
Here in the city. When did you start
I think.
going to shows, going to DIY shit?
How old was I? Hannah took me to my first show, and it was at I wish I remembered the name, the fucking warehouse, downtown. It doesn't exist anymore. It was like,
okay.
I think it was Freakin' Weekend 3 or so. I don't remember.
Okay.
Honey, I've been through a lot in a short time span, and I'm just lucky to be here. At the end of the day, I'm not dead yet. But that was my first show. Ben, I forgot his last name, drove us in with his van, or whatever, snuck us in because we were underage. But it was like, you know, whoever it would have been back then. Very white.
Yeah.
Super white. Very white. Again, same people playing music. And then as the years went on, like, we started getting touring bands that had people of color fronting them, like different styles of music, different genres. I don't even remember what it was like. I also haven't been to a show in so long. It was so different back then. Like, there's always a show. There was somewhere to do it. There was somewhere to go.
Always a show for sure.
But it was just like, you guys don't know anything. And I was always like the annoying outsider that was like, hey, do you guys just want to like incorporate other types of music into this? Or like, do you know, here are some bands that could potentially play, that would be cool. But like they wanted to keep it very, you know, them.
So you try to have conversations with people about it?
Yeah.
And yeah, didn't
really work out.
They're probably like, I don't see what's the problem. I'm just like having music shows with my friends.
Yeah.
Look at your friends.
Yeah, which I'm like, it's cool, but you could also include other people.
Yeah. Well, I definitely felt that. I mean, I guess when I moved here, because that's why I started booking shows and like a specific drama with Freakin' Weekend, where I was like very vocally like, this lineup sucks and it's all white men. And it was something where they were like called out about it and everyone was pissed off. Like the next time it was like we called you out about this last time and it's still the same, and everyone was PO'd. But
then there was unruly factions, which, okay, so this is where this discussion is going to get political.
Yeah.
It was very segregated.
Yeah.
If you realize, like, we had unruly factions, we had the hip-hop, rap, electronic, like, predominantly black people, which we were always open and inclusive. I was a part of it. Yeah. Man, 17 was cute.
2017? Or age 17?
Age 17. It's 23. It seems so far away.
Well, then we're right at the same,
same level.
I got here when I was
I wish
13.
I could like historically predate all, like exactly date them, but it was, I feel like it was in response to that void not being filled. And I don't know if it was like, it's not just like the Nashville's Dead people, it's other venues and other artists that wouldn't like appreciate the talent. And I feel like if everything just had come together to create a diverse bill for all the shows in Nashville, then it would have worked out. And like, I feel like we would have a thriving scene as it was, I guess. Yeah. And then slowly, like the people younger than us, like started putting like punk on the same bill as rap, and like rap on the same bill as an electronic artist, or an electronic artist on the same bill as like someone who's going to play the theremin. You know what I mean? Yeah. When all that shit happens, when it all comes together, that's how you create a show. That's how you create a scene. It has to be everyone.
Yeah.
You know?
That's so...
And that, it happened for a while. Like, Nashville was pretty lit, or at least the DIY scene. And then just people came in from fucking LA and like New York, and like, this is the new place to go. Like, everyone has their office building here. Like, Warner's here. Yeah. BMI is here. Like, you know what I mean? Yeah. Like, it became that hub. And
it's true.
Love it, though. Like, pop music is cute. Mm-hmm. Like, it's just weird. It doesn't seem like there's much of a scene
I feel that
anymore. You know what I mean?
Whenever there are entities that organize and put names on things, like that kind of familiarity and brand recognition does help you like contextualize your music scene. Yeah. You're like, we have this, and this. Like, if I'm talking to you about Atlanta, I'm like, there's this venue that I go to all the time, and there's these events like Southern Fried Queer Pride and like all these other things like that I can name. Or since like we did have those kind of collective people,
things to go to,
you know, writing about things, making things happen, putting shows on, and now perhaps we don't. It's like we have Dark Matter, we have other things.
What are some other like DIY spaces?
The East Room, love the East Room.
Okay, yeah, Taylor's great.
The East Room is really there, really here for it. It's a place where it's very financially and just possible for someone to do something, especially if they've never done it before. But yeah, it's difficult because of the venues, which I think you could definitely attribute to the gentrification aspect of like
perfect example, don't move to Midtown and then complain about the noise.
Yeah.
That's one of those things too. So the East Room, I love Dark Matter. I haven't been to the new one yet, but like, shout out to them. Shout out to Catherine.
Big shout out.
Shout out sorry, I broke the sink at the other basement one time.
Oh no.
Yeah.
I go way back. And I don't. I've been here for 3 years, almost 4 years. Well, actually, I've coming up on having been booking shows here for 3 years in June. I think we're having like a show about it. An anniversary.
Oh, book me.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah,
Rachel said it's like we have a show that happens to fall like on that date. The date of my inception, my idea birth.
Mm-hmm. What a concept.
I posted about it on Facebook. But she was like, we should make it a showcase. And I was like full on.
Yeah.
So maybe we will. It's on like a Thursday though, but whatever. Could be cool. But yeah, you've been here since like the other basement. Like you've seen it all.
I've been through some things. What else? I mean, it was always so cool because like you just got to hang out with your friends and listen to music that you might have not listened to before.
Yeah.
And like see other people do their art. Where else did we go? The End, Exit, and all that stuff used to be poppin'.
I definitely feel like the End was more poppin' like when I got here than it is now.
Yeah.
No offense.
Right.
No shade or anything.
Right.
I saw Gorilla Tusk there a couple months ago.
Oh, I went there too. I love
excellent.
that. They're actually one of my favorite bands in the entire world. Yeah.
Yeah, you said like with the different kind of people putting on events, the different really booking kind of initiatives, there was like obvious segregation by race and genre, like simultaneously. And even though it feels a little bit like fractured now, do you feel like things are starting to mingle more, or do you think it's just like overall everybody's just kind of fragmented?
Well, see, I'm kind of detached from it all. I just go to drag shows and sometimes I'll stray out if it's like a really cool show. But the thing is, like, everyone's doing their own thing.
Yeah.
And I think it kind of like contributes to the overall collective because we all have some sort of working relationship, whether you're friends or just like do shows together. You always run into each other. I think like the future of the music industry and the DIY scene in Nashville is just like people actually now owning in on their craft and owning in on building a sense of community within people, and making it like a cool space. You know, not just safe, but also cool. You know? Not
just safe, but also cool. I love that.
Cool.
Idea.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people are focused on trying to make it safer or whatever. But I'm like trying to simultaneously curate like really great art as well.
Yeah.
If I can.
Yeah.
What plans do you have for yourself? And I mean, if you're also like planning on putting out music, like do you think that you would start performing more outside of drag shows and inside of like dark matter, basically?
Yeah, literally. Like dreams, just perform at dark matter.
It's cute. They've got a good stage with the little lights and stuff. It looks great.
I think just like, obviously I want to put out music and I want to be put on bills with people that aren't drag queens. You know, like more diverse casts.
Easy. Let's go.
Yeah, I know, right? I just need to push my fucking songs out.
Yeah.
But once they're done, I'm gonna like, I want to transition into just singing my music and not doing like lip syncing. But I can still do it, you know?
Yeah.
But I just want to do it, but in drag.
Oh,
you know? I'll still be me, but just somewhere else. So that's coming up. That's coming up.
Do you think you'd still do like lip syncing drag?
Yeah.
Play and everything?
Yeah.
But to just have a full Sassyopathic live musical performance as well.
Yeah.
Self-releasing some music.
Self-releasing SassPunk. That's going to come out first.
That's our summer anthem.
Like first single should be out this week. It was supposed to be out this weekend, but like I guess it's taking a few extra days to get approved. You know, lyrical content. Someone gave me the instrumental on SoundCloud like 2 years ago. And I was like, oh shit, I love this song. I forgot about it. And then I started making it and remastering it and like writing it. And so I also have to clear that with them. So I've been like digging in my emails, like, who is this person?
Yeah, I have no idea.
Before
I see people
put it out.
like beat licensing all the time via SoundCloud, and I'm like, what is that?
Right.
Like logistically, legally, what does that mean? I have no idea.
Oh, I went to school for music business, so basically all that.
Where did you go to school?
SAE with your
God,
ex.
I forgot about that.
What a waste of my. Not really a waste of time, but like fuck.
Fuck.
I could have used that 2 years of my life to actually do something.
Yeah, but at least you got a little book learning in there. I've like appreciated the audio book learning, hands-on learning that I've had. But
is there anything else you want to talk about?
we're running up on our time, but
Oh, how do I create? I like that question.
That's a good one.
I just like sit and think for a little bit. I find inspiration in a lot of things, mainly other people. So I like to write about my feelings, but putting myself in somebody else's shoes. And
Creating
then
a character.
Creating a character of like
drag.
how someone is reacting to like being in pain or like not being seen. You know what I mean? Some of that stuff. So I'm like always in my notes, like all the time. Some of the lighter stuff is just like easier because it's like show your attitude. But I think just like being an instrumentalist, you know, and having that to back me up really helps me like get in the mood to like write a song. Like sometimes it'll take like 5 minutes. Sometimes it takes like months.
But like
you
if
know.
the music has come first, if you've already got like a track started,
Yeah,
then
I
you
always start there.
start the music first before the vocal lyrical content. I like that. I
Yeah.
relate to that.
Yeah. And then I'm like, okay, what could go with this? Then I sit there and write. Sometimes I like write the title first.
That's
Yeah.
That's
And be
what
like,
I'm
okay,
on.
this is what I'm calling it. Let's adhere to that.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you so much for having me, Ryan. I appreciate
It's
it.
been a pleasure.
It's been
I've
an
had so much
experience.
fun.
Thank you. Hopefully now this will shed some light on who Sassyopathic is as a person. But don't forget that you can catch me every second and fourth Sunday at Play Dance Bar, unless I have food poisoning or something. But I mean, that still wouldn't stop me. I'll be shitting and puking on stage if I
Yay.
could. And then look out for SassPunk. Let's give it a fucking month or so. I don't know. We'll see what happens. And then a month after, you'll get Go Down. And you can always follow me on Instagram, Sassyopathic. The same for Twitter, SoundCloud, as Sassyopathic. I think those are my socials.
All right. Well,
Listen.
I feel bad because we spilled tea all over his podcast log.
All right.
Who's going to clean that up?
Oops. Limited liability. Please welcome to the stage. Libel. Scandal.
It's been great.
Slander.
It's been so good. Thank you.
Happy Easter.
This has been Everything Nice with Sassyopathic. Bye.